Yardism. Hey, man. Let me turn off my stream on my computer. Hey, I hated to step on your toes, man. But I was hoping to get on tonight and do a live stream. So, hey, Higgy baby. Cliff, I'm going to start calling you Higgy baby instead of Cliffy. That'll be my tribute to TC from Magnum PI. I've got my Canada Dry look-alike of an unknown origin. We'll let some folks file in. I've got some stuff to talk about tonight, but not a whole lot. We'll spitball this as much as possible. So shout out to Yardism. Chad just finished yet another 2 hour live stream. I, Chad, what is your record for a live stream as far as length? I want to say you've done a 3 hour live stream before. 4 hours and 15 minutes. Man, I don't know what I would say for that long. My live streams tend to go about 45 minutes and I'm out because I'm out of things to say. All right, so I'm going to be looking over to my left, your right, I don't know, over to the side because I've got my live stream comments going over here. Yeah, Yardism gets a lot deeper than I do, so I can believe that. He asks, you know, deep philosophical questions, and I don't tend to get that deep because I don't like to make myself look stupid, any dumber than I already look. All right, we got 36 in the house. So I've already loaded up a pipe with, I'm sure you know, Haunted Bookshop. This tin is getting pretty low. Eh, I got maybe 15-20% of it left. But that's what I wanted to smoke this week, and I'm sure you guys know why, and many of you probably feel the same. But I'll be smoking it in my preloaded 7LA Series 3 129. This one's been climbing the charts, man. I just really like this pipe. Nice, good size, decent clincher. Daniel asks, what made me start the Pipe Nook? The channel or the store? So the channel, I started out as Haunted Tank 75 back in 2014, I think. The store came a couple years later, and I really just wanted to. I've always wanted to have a business of my own. Never came up with the right idea. Uh, classical pipe, classical pipes. I don't have any more Haunted Bookshop without the warning label. So they've moved on. They've got the warning label on all the new ones. But anyway, I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot with a pipe, an online pipe store. Um, and it was slow growing. That first year was not much as far as sales. And then second year built up. Third year was a little bit better. It's still just a side gig for me. I might get into a little bit of that in a bit, though. Well, let me get this lit up. Hopefully the space heater's not too bad. As always, y'all let me know if it's too loud, and I'll turn it off and get the shivers. Pipes and Bees, I do not ship to Canada. Unfortunately, I only ship within the U.S., excluding Florida, because Florida is where I live, and there's a crazy surtax on pipe tobacco, 85%. So I could not be competitive in that market when they can buy from the distinguished competition. Hey, Blue Dog. Good to see you, man. Well, I can't see you, but glad you're here. Just off the top of my head, does anybody know, is Cherry on Top still making videos? It just crossed my mind. I haven't seen a video from Cherry on Top in a while. Need to look him up. Hmm. Some people get burned out of making videos. I know I did for a little while. It was 3 or 4 months. I didn't make many videos about a year and a half ago. Well, if Cherry on Top hears this, we miss him. Been a heck of a week, you guys, or week and a half. Um, I'm feeling in much better spirits today. Well, it's Friday, so that helps. But I'm still watching tribute videos for matches here and there. I've still got like 10 tabs open in one particular window that I'm still going through them all. And I think John would be honored and humbled, and it's good to see the community actually rally together and huddle in, so to speak. Jeff, I appreciate that, man. I wasn't really I'm not planning on taking the 7 o'clock Eastern time slot. It's 6 o'clock my time, but that's not my intent at all. But tonight I had some stuff to share, and I knew that people who would be the most interested would be available at this time, if that makes any sense. I would like to do some Friday night live videos, but this is not a replacement for our regularly scheduled programming that was so uh, abruptly interrupted last week. We'll see. As I said earlier, Chad at Yardism, um, he did a live stream right before this that I caught the tail end of. Chad, do you pretty much live stream every Friday? Like before, were you live streaming a couple hours before matches got on, or was it just catch as catch can? You guys, I have really been, this haunted bookshop's been growing on me this week. Jay Cox, I don't carry Rattray's tobaccos at all yet. Um, so I can't make any promises as to a specific blend that I'll be carrying if I ever carry Rattray's. pipe tobacco. I would like to do that. I mean, I enjoy the Rattray's tobacco. I like the Old Gowrie and a couple of the others I've tried. I haven't tried them all, but good grief. I carry Cornell and Deal. I haven't tried all of theirs either. There's just so many out there. I'm going to try to say that. Algonquin Briar, thank you so much. Since 2016, you've probably heard everything I have to say. Yeah, I wonder if anybody's tried the whole C&D catalog. I mean, that even if you did one smoke a day, it'd take you about 140 days or something like that. Desert Pine Piper, I appreciate that. Daniel Leslie asked, "What pipe brand would I like to eventually carry?" Um, well, Rattrace pipes, I just started carrying this past year, um, and I've really enjoyed those pipes. Uh, I would say probably the ones I would most, well, the one that I would most want to carry in the future is one that I've actually carried in the past that I no longer carry, and that's Big Ben pipes. I've always enjoyed Big Ben pipes. I think I've got them set to the side right now, but this right here is a Big Ben Bora. Love the green, love the swirled acrylic green stem. I think it was a 676 shape or something. 677. This Big Ben Bora pipe. Love this pipe, and it's 9mm filtered, so it's right up my alley. And here's a Big Ben bent apple, slightly bent apple 228 in the Cafe Noir. These are a couple of my old favorites I've had for years, and I used to smoke them more on camera when I carried Big Ben pipes. But I still think they're fantastic pipes. The only reason I quit smoking them on camera was people would ask me about them and why don't you carry them? And the reason I don't carry them anymore is because their US distribution is not super great, and I had a really hard time keeping up with um, keeping the same shapes in the same lines in stock consistently. And if I can't do that, that kind of goes against what the pipe note's about. So I just had to stop carrying them. But they are fantastic pipes if you can find them. Oh, I'm missing all kinds of stuff here. Well, I wouldn't agree that 90% of Cornell and Deal blends are mediocre at best, but it really depends on your preference in tobaccos. I had a hard time at the beginning getting into Cornell and Deal because I think I tried the wrong tobaccos first. I tried Mississippi Mud because I liked Mississippi River from Seattle Pipe Club. Not the same blend at all, nowhere close. Then I tried the Burley Flakes 1 through 4. way too strong for me, especially as a beginner pipe smoker, which I would have called myself a beginner pipe smoker back then, 2014, 2015. But it really depends on what kinds of tobaccos you wind up getting into. Anywho, you guys, what do I want to talk about first? Let's take a look at my little notes I jotted down. But to your point, as far as Cornell and Deal favorite blends of mine, Haunted Bookshop's climbing the charts, but it's not my favorite C&D blend. I prefer Old Joe Krantz more so because there's more Perique in it, most likely. Blue Ridge and Bluegrass because of the Perique again, and the Dark Fired Kentucky and the Bluegrass. And there's some kind of plain Jane blends, maybe what I would call um, OTC blends, but just a little higher quality. Would be things like Americana, Grey Ghost, Epiphany. Those are really solid, everyday kind of blends. Um, so yeah, there's a lot to find in Cornell and Deal, and that's without me even talking about things like Pirate Cake and Star of the East Flake. Autumn Evening's their bestseller, and it's one of my bestsellers. I'm not a big aromatic smoker, as you guys know, but that's a good one for medium maple flavoring. Steph and Skip, you talking about ordering off my site? You'll have to email me if you haven't already. I'm trying to lock down, there's some sort of compatibility issue, but nobody's been able to tell me specifically what kind of devices they were using and what kind of browser they were using and all that kind of stuff so I can figure out what the problem is. But I know most people are able to order because man, I've had orders this week. This is probably my best week for sales, um, and I couldn't figure it out. Uh, at the beginning, after John passed away last week, I knew I would get some sales from just people wanting that pipe, the Friday Savinelli and Haunted Bookshop and, all the tributes that have been going up. But um, I sold out of those pretty quick, and then I reordered over the weekend and put them back up. I got 15, I think. Yeah, 15 Roma Lucite 673s back in stock on like Wednesday, and they were sold out again on Thursday after I sent an email. Now, guys, I just don't have the capital to order any more than that. Um, but they were just, everything I had sold out quick. And that's testament to John and how much you guys love John. And I wish I had more of those pipes. I'll reorder, but it'll probably be another week before I get them back in stock. Um, oh, Steph and Skip, you can email me through my contact page on the site. But it's if you just want to send me a direct email, it's the pipe nook at outlook.com. Oh, and I didn't mention when I was talking about Cornell and Deal blends, Shanae's cake. I love Shanae's cake. Um, Nice, creamy, thick smoke, heavy perique, like a musty, musty blend. I got too much ash on this thing. Let me dump some of this out. Start fresh. Told you guys I was going to be a poor facsimile this evening. Jay Cox, I appreciate that. Daniel Leslie asked about my thoughts on Penzance and would I carry it. Penzance is a good blend. Um, Again, I'm not a huge lot of Kia fan, but it is a good lot of Kia blend. I just think it's a bit overrated, um, especially for the prices it gets online. Um, when people decide they want to scalp. But it's not a bad blend. But I think there are other blends just as good out there in the lot of Kia camp. But um, I would say that's kind of like someone who doesn't like country music or just kind of tolerates country music every now and then, telling you that a particular country music artist is okay, but they're just like a lot of the other country music artists. If you're into country, you kind of know the ins and outs and the differences between artists. I don't. I know what Hank Williams Sr. sounds like, and a couple others. Willie, that's Hank, Willie, and Merle. That's about it. Everybody else kind of sounds the same to me. Does Sleepy Hollow have a what? Does Sleepy Hollow have a what? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, based on my Iron Maiden poster, I know you guys were thrown. I may have been a country music fan. I don't have any 10-year-old Shanae's cake. Well, I don't think it's been in production that long, but I've got some that's a couple years old. How old is the. Where's my 10? Where is my 10 of Shanae's cake? Here we go. This stuff was made in September of 2017, so it's got 2.5 years on it. If we go long enough, I might load some of this up. Somebody asked me earlier what I thought of Costello pipes. I haven't personally found a Costello pipe that was in my price range, um, so I have no idea. And at this point, because Costello, um, I don't believe, you guys correct me if I'm wrong and you're in the know, but I don't believe Costello has 9 millimeter filtered pipes. I think they're all unfiltered, actually. Costellos are, no, Costellos. I haven't seen any Costello pipes. Yeah, I would think they would be cheaper. Um, Mr. Quantum Uncertainty asked about my shipping process and how long it takes from order to doorstep. Typically, that takes 7 days, 7 to 10 days tops. Um, but this week, you guys, I've had so many orders. I mean, seriously, right now I'm sitting on 33 pending orders when I got home today. And, oh, let's see. Timothy, I guess I didn't get your email. I'm sorry about that. You can try again. I guess I didn't get it if I didn't reply to it, unless you sent it today, because I haven't checked my email yet today. But this is a part-time gig for me so far. I work a 40-hour week at an unnamed place that is not nearly as fulfilling as the Pipe Nook is to me. Then I traffic 3 school-age kids around, myself and my wife, and all the logistics and taking them where they need to be, um, at the times they need to be. Then we get them fed, read, and in the bed. Then I can pack orders for the Pipe Nook and answer emails and place inventory restock orders and write blogs and correct errors on the site and all that goes into it. So my apologies if it was my mistake I didn't get back to you, but definitely try emailing me back again. But yeah, like I was saying, hey Magician Piper, Jack Daniels in the house. Oh man, these questions are coming in hard and fast. I can't start answering another one before another one comes in, but Daniel Leslie asked, do you think a true artisan pipe is better than a high-end normal pipe? I guess you mean factory pipe. Um, I guess my answer there would be it depends. Um, it also depends on what you consider a true artisan pipe versus what you consider a high-end normal pipe. Um, because well, it really depends. If you mean factory pipe, uh, you know, I mean, a high-end Nerup pipe. I think Nerup pipes are fantastic pipes, by the way. If you're looking for a handmade pipe with a Danish flair, particularly, Rick Black makes fantastic pipes. There are all kinds of good artisan pipe makers out there, but where I come to is I want the 9 millimeter filter. Um, because it definitely helps me. I'm very prone to tongue bite. That's why I pretty much only smoked 9 millimeter filtered pipes these days. Um, I will say, I showed off the sister pipe to this a while back. This is a J Mouton pipe. The Bayou Guru made this pipe for me, and it is a 9 millimeter filtered pipe. Morta, love the shape, love the green stem, love the accent band. Just a fantastic pipe. The first one he made me, there was trouble with it. The bowl split, and he remade it for me. So thank you so much, Jason. Appreciate that. If you guys haven't checked out the Bayou Gurus channel or his pipes, you should do so. Yeah, so I'm not the best person to answer that question as a high-end factory pipe better than a true artisan pipe, high-end artisan pipe. I gotta have that filter in place, man. For me to thoroughly enjoy the smoke. Cliff, glad you stopped in, man. I'm gonna make an announcement, so you need to tune in at whatever this is, the 30-minute mark. Tune back in later in the reruns. Jack, I believe the funeral date is tomorrow, Saturday. I haven't seen an obituary. I haven't seen the official arrangements. But if I recall, that's what I heard. That's what Sarge told me in a voicemail, not a voicemail, a text message. Daniel, in the U.S., filtered pipes just aren't as popular as unfiltered pipes. I can't tell you why that is. I made a video several months back called The Truth About Pipe Filters, I think, where I talked about my assumptions of why, kind of me just educated guessing why that is and why in Europe filtered pipes are normal. So you can go back and look at that video. It's kind of I think it was a 20-minute video. But some people kind of poo-poo the use of pipe filters because they personally don't have any problems with tongue bite. So it'd be kind of like somebody who's not diabetic, you know, telling you telling you as a diabetic, why are you so worried about sugar all the time? Why are you always taking that insulin? Just if you have the problem, it's either don't smoke a pipe or find a way that you can smoke a pipe that's comfortable. And 9 millimeter filters do that for me. The charcoal filters in particular, but the balsa filters are pretty good. Chad, I would agree to you to an extent. It is personal taste, um, except when it's not. Which for me, I know I was having a really hard time with tongue bite, and I just didn't like having my mouth feel like there were chemical burns in it all the time. So the 9 millimeter filters became a necessity for me. Just like if you guys have been watching Picard, old Jean Luc drinks his Earl Grey decaf these days. Yeah, so Sane Crazy said he ate ghost peppers. I can't eat ghost peppers, man. Jalapenos are too hot for me. There's no way I would eat a ghost pepper. Or a habanero for that matter, or a reaper. Never, never, never. Can't do it. I like Frank's hot sauce. That's about as hot as I go with spicy foods. So, um, I did want to mention this, you guys. Once again, I'm sold out. Oh, I wanted to tell you about STP Trader. Thanks for the order, man. You got another 673 before they went out of stock again. Um, I knew I started on this line of thought a while back, and then I got sidetracked with questions, but um, I saw a spike in orders after matches passed away. And I understood that, and I understood why, and I sold out of those pipes and out of my haunted bookshop that I had on hand. And then I had an email go out about, I believe it was Series 3 pipes on Friday, which I had already written before matches passed away, and I forgot it was scheduled, and it went out Friday morning, and then I had another spike in orders. Um, and then I had the other 673s come in stock over the weekend. Well, not over the weekend, like Tuesday and Wednesday. But even after those sold out, guys, I'm still having such a crazy amount of orders. Typically, I ship 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. If I have a sale running or it's Christmas or whatever, I might even bump that up to 5 days a week. But I have shipped every business day, which is 6 days a week. You know, the post office doesn't take orders on Sunday, but I shipped last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and again today. 9 days in a row, and I'll ship again tomorrow, and I'll still have pending orders. Um, that's insane. I want to thank you guys. I'm very thankful for the increase in business, but I will say I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why, and I think I figured it out. I think a lot of people in the YTPC are like me, going back and watching a lot of John's old videos, and man, he advocated the pipe nook time and time and time again. Um, he was always good to recommend the pipe nook. Um, once I had started the store, particularly this past year or two, when he was doing the live streams, and that was always so appreciated. But now it's even more so. It's like John's final gift to me. So I want to thank you guys, but I also once again want to thank John for always giving me those shout outs. Much appreciated. But Daniel, I appreciate that. Um, I try. But I did want to mention, you guys, I will be getting more 673 Friday 7 Ellie's in stock, the Roma sites. But also, I know a lot of you have been wanting or asking about, or maybe even writing Savinelli for the possibility of a Matches 860 tribute pipe. So here's the news. Here's the big scoop. I have been in touch with Savinelli's U.S. distributor. They've been in touch with Savinelli. I've gotten some details about what's possible and what's not. They tell me that it can't be a regular production pipe, but they can do special order pipes, and this would fall under that. So that it would be a limited run, you guys, but we can do it. We can make that happen. I can't make it happen by myself because I am not a rich man and this is not a big company. So here are the details as I know them now. We can get, I know some of you guys want an unfinished pipe. Some of you guys would rather have the Roma Lucite, which is what most of us think of now as the Friday Savinelli. But Fragrant Piper, I'll get to that. Fragrant Offering Piper, I'll get to that. But for now, we're going to start with, and maybe we could do the other one later, I don't know. But we'll start with the Roma Lucite. It would be a stock pipe, but we can get it in a limited run where it would be numbered. It would be, 5 of however many, or, whatever. We could get them numbered individually. On one side, we could get it to say matches 860, and on the other side, we could get it to say the Friday Savinelli. And I know I want one, so I'll definitely be getting one. So it would be a commemorative pipe for John. Daniel, it would definitely be a 673. I know John said he liked the 320s, but we all know that was his favorite shape, was the 673, and that was his Friday Savinelli. I never saw him pick up a 320 and say it was the Friday Savinelli. So that would be my commemorative pipe if it ever comes to that in the future and you guys want a commemorative pipe Nook pipe. Yeah, but here's the deal about that. Savinelli says they'll do it. I have to have a minimum of 50 for the run, which I don't think that'll be a problem. But a minimum of 50, and it would have to be paid for before the production begins. So that means it will have to be pre-orders in order for this to happen. So once I get the pricing down, once I get a little bit more in the way of details from Savinelli, I will make a post on the website for the Matches 860 tribute pipe. So you guys be on the lookout for that. I will also make a video. I'm sure I'll make a video, but I'll also make an email and send that out to my email newsletter contacts. So if you guys aren't signed up for that, go to my website, thepipenook.com, sign up for the newsletter so I can send you that and other announcements. But that'll be the big announcement here in the near future as soon as I get that posting done and I have all the details lined up. And then, I will tack on extra pipes to the run, as many as I can afford, so that those who missed out on the pre-orders, there'll also be a chance for them to get one of them. So, but they will be pre-orders. I'm told that turnaround time will be about a month to get them produced, probably another month for me to get them, and then a month for me to get them out to you guys. So I'm guessing from the time the pre-orders end forward would be about 2 to 3 months before we all get the pipes. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I'm very happy that I can make this happen for the YTPC. But I'll be honest with you, part of me was like, well, I can't give them away because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of my time, and this is a business. But I feel kind of funny about that aspect. So I do intend to give a percentage of the pipe sales to John's wife. I'm waiting to get her information so that I can do that. So again, more information on that to come, you guys, but I hope you know me well enough to know and know that my friendship with John was such that I would not want to really, I'm not trying to profit off of this, but at the same time, it costs money, right? So, but I'm going to do what I can to help out his widow, and do whatever I can. And that way you guys won't feel quite as bad about buying yet another pipe, right? Tuesday is John's birthday. You and John have the same birthday, Jack? Oh, wow. That's interesting. So you're saying next Tuesday is your birthday, Jack? Pipe, pipe smoking deputy, that is a good idea. Um, However, my website wouldn't be able to delineate the donation from the sales. So I would get taxed for that amount if you wanted to donate over and above. Um, there is a GoFundMe page, from what I've heard, but I'm looking to go the direct route to kind of take out that 3% or whatever GoFundMe takes. Brandon, you're right. 150 might not be enough, but that's what I like about the idea of the pre-order. We could get 50 orders, and then I could probably do another 25 or so that I could foot the bill on myself. Um, but once I start the pre-orders, I'll let them go for 2, maybe 3 weeks. I don't want it to go too awful long because I want to get the production started. But we'll get the word out on my channel. We'll get the word out through my emails, my email newsletter. So be sure to sign up for that. We'll get the email out on BRTV. I've already talked to Phil. Um, so once I get all the details lined up, he's going to have an announcement on Briar Report and on BRTV, or the BRTV guide, about the matches pipe. And you guys spread the word. And what I would love to happen, which probably won't happen, but what I would love to happen is we had 860 pipes that we could order. Uh, that would be amazing. Do I think we'll get to that? No, but that's my dream. Also, even if we could just get to 673, that would be cool too, because Savinelli has told me they won't be able to put the standard Roma lucite on the shank or the shape number because of me wanting the other stuff on there. And there's just not enough room to cram all that in. Um, so it's not going to say Roma lucite. It's not going to say 673. It's going to have matches 860. It's going to have the serial numbering, and then on the other side it'll say the Friday Savinelli. So it would be great if we could do one of 673 or one of 860. We'll see. We'll see. But if it's 100 pipes, if it's 200 pipes, if it's 50 pipes, it's going to happen. If I only get 25 pre-orders, I'm still going to place an order of 50 pipes, and then I'll have extras for the Pipe Nook to have on stock. So that's the news as far as that goes. Um, Bob, I the Pipe Nook is not set up to take international orders. If you want to roll the dice and you want to pre-order, um, shoot me an email and I'll send you an invoice. All I can tell you is that as a business, I have to put a tariff code of what's in the box, and that may mean you'll get slapped with a high tariff in order for it to be delivered to you, or maybe even after the fact. I've had international shipments come to me UPS, and then I get a bill in the mail for the tariff that shocks me later on. So um, that's why I don't carry Nearip pipes anymore. So anyway, if you want to go that route, any of you out there in the UK or in Canada, um, you know, it would be at your risk. So buyer beware. I'm definitely not going to try to take advantage of you guys. I'll charge you what it costs everybody else, plus international shipping, which typically is $15 to $25, depending on where it's going. Um, Canada's 15. Anywhere else, I'd have to check. Um, yeah, John, I know y'all do. I just, I've had customers that weren't aware that they were going to get slapped with that international charge. So I had some backlash early on, and that's why I quit doing the international shipping. Guys, we got 115 or 117 in the house. Yeah, with John having 12,000 something subscribers, if 10% of those wanted a pipe, that might be high estimation on my part, but if 10, I would say if 10% of those subscribers wanted a Matches tribute pipe, we'd be over 100. Smoking the Ghost, same thing. I would say would apply to that. Because I can ship pipes, I just can't ship tobacco. But my storefront is very simple for the shopper, hopefully, as well as for me, because I'm not a web designer. So I couldn't discriminate between, this order shipping to Florida, and I can ship pipes, but I can't ship tobacco. So I just had to not ship anything within the state of Florida. But if you want me to send you an invoice for the pipe and no tobacco, I can do that. So hit me up. That would be the pipe nook at outlook.com. Everybody else, just wait for the, international, send me an email. Florida residents, send me an email. Anybody else, just wait for the newsletter to go out and the announcement on BRTV, and then you can find the pre-order listing. I'll have it up for at least 2 weeks on the website. You live in Alabama, and Floridians are weird. Come on. Where I live, we're considered LA, and I'm sure you've heard that term before, but I live in LA, which is lower Alabama, even though I'm in Florida. There's a lot of big trucks around here. There's a lot of country music. And there's a lot of southern drawl. And even though it's in the 50s outside tonight, I got my space heater on. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw Sea Smoke Pipes. I'd like to see that memorial pipe. Do you have a video up of it? I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen Simon, London Calling with Simon, and his memorial pipe that he made. Daniel, we'll see how this one goes. But now that I know that a minimum of 50 is a thing from Savinelli, I might do a limited edition Pipe Nook pipe or a limited edition YTPC Pipe of the Year in the future. We'll see how things go. I am down pretty far into the heel of this bowl. Wouldn't do me well to stand up right now, I'll tell you that. I've gotten used to the haunted bookshop, but it still packs a wallop. Smoking the Ghost, if this goes well, we might do an unfinished. But the problem with the unfinished, I didn't want to do a tribute pipe for John that was seconds. And I know his first pipe was a second, but I know that pipe's going to mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to you guys. I didn't want people to get like a hand numbered pipe that had fills in it and whatnot. And I'll tell you, if we get it unfinished, um, as a nice pipe, I don't know if you've seen some of Savinelli's other pipes that are unfinished that aren't seconds. They're very pricey, or they're pricier than what I carry. I'll tell you that they're up into the 200s, high like 180 to 250, 300, or even more. And I didn't want it to be that. I wanted it to be more accessible than that. Luke, you just got the 129. Have you smoked it yet? That's this one right here, eh? It's a good one. I also reached out to Cornell and Deal, because I know a lot of people wanted to see a matches commemorative, um, Cornell and Deal tobacco. Haunted Pirate Ship, I know a lot of people talked about that. And I was told, Jeremy Reeves got back a hold of me, their master blender, and he was like, FDA can't do it, can't do a new blend, because that would be considered a new blend, even though they're just taking one of their blends and mixing it with another one of their existing blends. It would be considered a new blend, so they couldn't do it as a limited run. But what they could do is a special edition haunted bookshop, and they told me they could even do it as not a ribbon cut. They could do it as a flake, or as a plug, or as a crumble cake. So that might be something to think about. We could have haunted bookshop just prepared differently, and we could do that. Um, I might consider putting up a survey to see what you guys would prefer as to that, but I don't know what their limited, what their minimum run of tens would be. Um, I threw out to them the suggestion, not just for the pipe nook. I would love to carry uh, a commemorative matches 86010. But I threw out there, hey, maybe you could do a run of 860 tens, and then he said, yeah, you could buy 860 tens for your customers, and I'm like, whoa, I can't, I don't think I could do that myself, not 860. So I might have to get back a hold of him and ask him what the minimum would be for something like that. Oh, I think I'm infringing on Briar Blues, you guys. So I'm sure there's going to be a mass exodus here pretty soon. I didn't mean to go for an hour. So what else did I want to cover? Anything else of import? Probably not. No, that's it. It's 6:59, you guys. So let's log off. I definitely don't want to. I already cut yardism short today. I don't want to infringe on anybody else's time slot. So, um, let's go ahead and cut this one. We're at 7 o'clock right now. So you guys, glad you stopped in. Like I said, this probably isn't going to be an every week time slot for me unless I get a lot of feedback that you guys want that. I would do my best. I don't know if I can do this slot every week, but we'll see. Um, all right, we'll leave it at that. Glad y'all got to see me. We'll chat with you later.